everything together, and wouldn't it be better than get more money, less anxiety, more passion, please, wanna alter who I am, get a little lost, can't find my way, but I can't stay here forever, get a little low to low my base till I can face it better.
So here is the close-up view of Gibraltar from Línea. Gibraltar is just a small outcrop. That bit you can see sticking out, that is Gibraltar. And all the fuss is about that. And here from La Concepcion, you look across, you see the Rock of Gibraltar, El Peñón. As you probably know, La Concepcion, La Línea de la Concepción, is a fairly run-down area of Spain, and it borders the immensely wealthy and affluent area of Gibraltar. Here we see flats behind us, and you park your car on the Spain side in a car park. There are various, and you walk the 400 yards, 500 meters to the border of Gibraltar and Spain, and there you cross passport control from one territory into another, and literally in those few steps you go from Spain to a British overseas territory, not a colony, but an overseas territory, and Gibraltar. Come on, let's go. There ahead, that is the border and the border crossing. La Frontera, the frontier. Here, this monument is the monument to the Spanish workers in Gibraltar, represented by this guy on a bicycle. And here at the border crossing, you can see the Spanish flag there, waving at the right-hand side, the Union flag there on the left. And that represents the crossing into Gibraltar. And we joined the long queue waiting to pass across the border. Of course, you must remember to bring your passport. Without a passport, you won't be allowed to cross from Spain to Gibraltar. So by showing my British passport and my Spanish residency card together, I go straight through, and then here into the UK passport control. I just show UK passport to a UK officer. There we are, straight into Gibraltar, and the very first thing you see is a red pillar box telephone. Hey, here. Thank you. Franco dictatorship and its impact on Gibraltar. Straight off, we're going to Winston Churchill Avenue. And then we find the airport, which crosses through the middle of Gibraltar and closes down traffic and pedestrian access whilst aeroplanes land and take off. And we're now on British territory. I'm talking about £100 fines. The euro has been left behind as we enter Gibraltar. There's the airport. Now, the plane having just taken off, there it goes. go. The airport. Airstrip is open. Both sides. For pedestrians as well as cyclists. Across here, the airstrip, you can see the airport itself, and you literally walk straight across the runway. This being the runway. The aeroplanes take off and land here. So it really is like crossing into a little Britain here in Gibraltar. The signs are in English, people speaking in English, although Spanish is commonly spoken as well. And it is like being in England, except for the sun shining bright in the sky. Just after crossing the airfield into Gibraltar, I was bundled into a car at the first roundabout, and my friend Bert Stagnetto, who I went to school with at the oratory school many years ago, said, "Get in the car." I jumped in the back, and now he's brought me up here to the top of the rock, to the nature reserve, the upper rock.
I'm really not used to these gears.
This is where he's driving somebody else's car, and it's a gearbox, and it's like usual difficult for an automatic driver like me as well. So here we are. There we go. We'll have a good look from the top. So we're gonna go somewhere where tourists don't go. Bert used to go there when he was younger. That must have been a long time ago.
Oh, fuck, a long time ago.
Yeah,
I was 66 on Sunday.
Were you really?
You're going to be 66 too.
I am. I'm going to be 66 on January the 3rd. And then, thankfully, that will give me my UK pension. I hope I can pay up after all these years.
I'm doing a tour.
You're doing a tour. Buen provecho.
¿Está pagando bien o no?
Sí, él me cobra. Me cobra amistad y amor. Bruto. Of course, the monkeys are all over the place here, and they just that one just came in across the road and just sat on the side there, like thinking I'm the king of the castle, which he probably is. Look at this monkey with a baby. Hey, baby. Hey. Making a nice noise, like you're going to rip my head off. Bert has brought me here to somewhere where the tourists don't come. This is a war battery. You can see where the gun would have been on this circular track, and it would have been able to swing round and defend Gibraltar. Right up from the top here, at the top of the world, at the gun battery down below, you can see literally the scope the gun would have had. In the background there you can see Ceuta and the African coast.
The other pillar of Hercules.
The other pillar of Hercules. And here the Strait of Gibraltar, one of the biggest shipping lanes in the world. You can see the number of tankers and boats that are out there. It says tide waits for no man, but apparently here in Gibraltar it waits for every man, because it doesn't happen.
Because there's no tide in the Mediterranean.
There's no tide in the Mediterranean. See,
There was one of the biggest Roman towns in the southern Spain.
so Bert used to live in Soto Grande, but now he lives 24/7 in Gibraltar. So he's what's known as a llanito. That's right, you're a llanito.
You know where the word comes from?
Llanito, it's flat, no? Nothing to do with that.
It comes from an English word.
Which is?
Janitor.
Janitor. I see, yeah, of course, because they stayed behind and looked after the...
No, because the British force...
Janitor.
The British administration here wouldn't allow people to stay here because there wasn't enough water.
I see.
And so the only civilians that could sleep in Gibraltar had to have janitor passes.
I see. So they were llanitos, janitors. I see. So there were Spanish people who could stay in Gibraltar. We got G41, the number plate of this car. That would be a personalised number plate, would it? Yeah. Personalised number plate. It isn't literally Gibraltar 41, because that would have been a very old car. So we've now come to Apes Den. This is where the apes live. There's one there looking out over the bay, scratching his arse. Ferdinand's battery, and we can see the port of Gibraltar is here. There we are, Apes Den. Hey, Hippa. Hello, mate. How you doing? Mira. There he is. I've been here to Gibraltar once before in 2019, and I went up on the cable car to the top. The cable car goes up here, you see. There it comes.
There is a ship. There is a cruise ship.
We've got a cruise ship in down below as well. We'll have a look at that. Where's the cruise ship? Right over there. The big white one. How many cruise ships come in? One every day? Or more?
About 30 a month.
30 a month, one a day. Yeah.
Sometimes it's 2.
Sometimes
This time
two.
of year.
Gun battery, Princess Caroline's battery, 1905. Here is a proper gun overlooking the bay. So Bert's telling me about the rangefinder here. These are the degrees. 0 north, is that? So this is rangefinder north.
This is the rangefinder in fire control north.
Fire control
This
north.
is where they control the
0 is
fire.
north, and then it goes all the way around to 360, all the way around the numbers.
So you control. Let's say there were planes coming in to attack. See?
Aeroplanes. So the aeroplanes would come in for attack, and this would find the range for them.
During the Second World War, Gibraltar was attacked by the French Air Force and the Italian.
Why would the French attack?
Because you remember when the British blew up the French fleet in Oman.
Oh yes, yes.
They retaliated. The French Vichy forces in
Vichy forces.
retaliated and bombed Gibraltar.
Did they indeed? Bloody French. Well, here we are from the top. We can look across to La Línea de Concepcion. We see what is the runway of the airport, and the rather curious arrangement that Gibraltar has with its incoming and outgoing flights, and everybody be getting stopped at the gates there. Anyway, down there is La Línea de la Concepcion, and Bert tells me you can eat there very well. Can you eat there well? What can you have?
Everything.
Tell me.
Tapas. You can go to 10 restaurants.
So tapas in La Línea de Concepcion. I've actually stayed in La Línea de Concepcion for a few days, and I didn't like it very much. But apparently it's not as bad as I make out.
The old part not bad. You can eat very well.
Yeah.
You go over quite often and eat there.
Passing by the residence of the governor of Gibraltar. In there? And like everywhere in the world, the place is congested. The end of the high street there.
This is the high street, yeah?
This is where he was putting the barrel.
That's Trafalgar Cemetery. That's the people who died after the Battle of Trafalgar were buried there.
The Trafalgar Cemetery. So here, we're at the American War Memorial, and as you can probably guess, those big gold discs up there are American. So there we are. So this is the High Street, Gibraltar High Street. You can see you got NatWest Bank, pharmacy, and you could be walking down a like a UK high street here.
No, Maltese.
Maltese.
This is very much
Maltese would be like this. But also look, the Union flag, and you've got here, you know, somebody feeding the monkeys. England at the moment is full of flags. The
Do you like cigar?
the Rise movement.
Like cigar?
Hi, I'm here actually in Gibraltar High Street right at this very moment with Bert Stagnetto. And here behind him, the Louis Stagnetto Empire, which dates back to
1870.
1870. Luckily, I'm an authorized person. I'm allowed in.
Remember Toby?
Hello.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm recording here, Peter. How things?
How you doing?
well?
Right? Good, good.
Good. Yeah. We've been wandering around and looking at apes and.
Really? You've gone up a rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, went to the 50p. It was the only place. It's full of tourists or coaches everywhere. And then we went, just drove back and parked the car and came here.
Is this the family here?
That's the hold on. The young guy sitting on the floor
Yeah.
is our grandfather,
Good grief.
and the big guy sitting in the middle is our great grandfather.
And he was the founder of the business.
Yeah,
Look at that. So there's a lot of history here
a lot,
in this
a lot.
in this company. And the Cuban cigars here are something you must visit. You must see them. Come. Don't take too many of them because Bert likes them. He doesn't like selling them. He wants to smoke them all himself. But here we go. In here, to the humidor of the cigars. So here you can actually see the cigars. All Cuban. In the humidor itself. And these are the real thing, look. I mean, they're not cheap. Here he is, Bert Stagnetto himself, in Louis Stagnetto Wine Spirits Tobacconists. How long you been here for?
155 years.
You're looking well for it.
Yeah.
So this is
Take it back. And you need to
right.
help him take it back because it's cheaper than having it free.
to France.
Yeah.
You know Giacomo
He
Tomaselli?
was here the other day.
Was he? You saw him?
I walked out.
I'm getting myself a pair of sunglasses here in Gibraltar High Street. Good price from the Stagnetto thing, Ray-Ban. Tell me the price.
£90. It was 158.
Was 158, so considerable reduction there.
price.
Special price. Shall I show them on?
Yeah, put it on.
So that's them on. What do you think? Pretty cool, eh? So I got my glasses here. I got my Stagnetto discount here. A pair of £158 sunglasses for just £90 a snip. At 90. Hopefully they'll last me a lot longer than the last lot I bought for £90.
The Ray-Ban.
Yeah. The last lot I bought lasted me 3 minutes before they were pinched. Fucking thing. Okay, so we're getting to the Small Boats Marina here at Gibraltar. And looking forward to arriving. We're going to have a look at your yacht, are we? So here's the Royal Gibraltar Yacht Club. Members only. Luckily, I'm here with the Stagnettos, so I'm a member. Honorary member for today. Yeah?
Where do you want to sit? I've still got beer to go with it.
This is an important thing. So you don't want to smoke it yet?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to light it now, yeah? But lighting his cigar. The cigar man.
One of your travels.
So when in Rome, do as the Romans. When in Gibraltar, do as the Stagnettians. And I got this cigar from the humidor at the Louis Stagnetto Emporium of call this a cigar, right? That's not a cigar, that's a cigar. Shows a cigar. But I really wouldn't be able to smoke one of those. Last one I smoked was in 2020 when I turned 60, and it made me green around the gills. I hope this one isn't going to do the same. But anyway, this is in honor of the Stagnetto. It's a proper cigar. It's a proper cigar.
Not to be inhaled.
Absolutely not.
There we go.
We've got the wrong climate for tobacco. Up in my farm we have.
This is a petit. Oh, you want to try petit robusto?
What's your one?
Itu?
Mine are Romeo and Julieta.
Very nice. How's the lunch good today?
Julieta.
The pie is it.
This is the yacht club. And now we're going down now. Down here to have a look at Bert's boat here on the dock. Lovely clear water. Look at that. Here at the marina.
From Tangier.
Tangier.
Because Ernest was born in Tangier.
I see.
In Modern.
This has no engine. It has an engine?
You put an engine on it.
Only. Right. Opa. Fab. nice lunch. Thank you very much. And here beside us, the Bristol Hotel. Look at that. It's the beer being delivered by Louis Stagnetto. Over here, the University of Gibraltar. There, the Museum of Gibraltar. It's a small place, but it packs a punch. Behind me over here, like any high street, Marks and Spencer's. And we've got all the flags behind us. What was going on? Where were the flag? 10th of September, National Day, and they still haven't taken the flags down. This here is Mandy's place, Mandy's office. Great. We had a, thanks to her, lunch on her. Very nice of her too.
It goes from one extreme to the other.
So this is it. I'm just leaving Gibraltar now. Maybe I'll just phone home, let them know I'm on my way. On the other hand, I'll use the mobile. Why not? Who uses a telephone cabin nowadays? Only for photos. Souvenirs. So as I walk out of Gibraltar, back over to the airfield and across, I reflect upon a good lunch with friends at the yacht club, a good time in the town, new pair of sunglasses, a good time. A step back into really England, remarkably English place. It really is a place like no other, Gibraltar. And the other thing that one can say is Gibraltar is very well defended. It's a fortress town. It's a British overseas territory, and I believe it's going to remain that way for a very long time.
What if we got everything together, and wouldn't it be better then? Get more money, less anxiety, more passion, please, wanna alter who I am. Get a little lost, can't find my way, but I can't stay here forever. Get a little low to low my pace till I can face it better. White knuckles on the way down, but my friends are all around. White knuckles, letting go now. All my friends, they help me out. Everything is better now. I'm finding my way back somehow.
And just like that, I'm back on Spanish soil, back in Tierra Cristiana.
For the coast, wouldn't it be simple then?
So I say goodbye from Gibraltar and back to La Línea de Concepcion. Tomorrow, onward journey on the ferry from